Some people online are saying that they need to get a pair of Meta's AI glasses because in a new clip, a man records a tense confrontation between himself and a customs officer on a rural road. Not with his phone, not with a camera, but with his glasses. Let's watch.
If you want to tell us, take permission.
Okay.
Take permission.
I'm not videoing you.
You are.
Okay, I'm not videoing you. Which one is I'm videoing? I'm not videoing you.
So which spec is this? You think we don't know it?
Even though you know
if
it,
you want to video, why not take permission?
Okay, I'm not videoing you. Why is that? What's the problem? What is that now? Why is it fighting me? Which permission? Are you not a public servant? Where should I take permission from? You're not a public servant. Where are you? Is here not a public space? I have the right to video you. What's the problem?
Now, Rufai, the law states that Nigerians do have the constitutional right to record police officers performing their duties in public spaces after a federal high court ruling back in March. It's still startling the way in which the officer lunged at this man.
See, the truth about this is he who is clean fears no accusation. If you are doing your role as a police officer, your good role or as a custom officer, and they are videoing you, you will be happy. We've seen police officers that were doing good and they videoed them and they were happy. They even used it to raise funds for them that this person is a good person.
Yeah.
But when you are doing buruku, ibi, bad things, and they video you, that's when you'll be shaking. It's not supposed to be a big deal. It's not supposed to be a big deal. When they video you and you are doing what is right, that's just it, pure and simple. So it's a time for you to shine. But it's when they video you and you know that you are doing something wrong. That's when problems are. See, I don't know what transpired, but I can bet anything that this custom officer was about to extort the guy. That's why the video was activated. I can bet. And it's not that Nigerians too just like to video. I mean, there are people, and you see what annoys me about a lot of these officers in uniform is the fact that they now want to use authority stealing and institutional might to do it. I mean, there are some police officers that when you see them, they will even beg, "Oga, anything for us, the hunger day and everything." And out of your free volition, you can say, okay, let's support esprit de corps. But the one I don't like is when you now put strength and muscle and you're saying this and all of that. I'm not supposed to give you, but you have pleas, genuine pleas. Like that sometimes. And the milk of human kindness comes through your heart. That's different. So, because they videoed them and is trying to take the Meta glasses, haven't we advocated in this country that officers of the law should even be having their own cam? That they should activate to tell the outside. So we are not surprised. It's when people are doing evil, that's when they don't want them to video them. I mean, there was a case I will never forget. This happened around Oniro. A police officer stopped a guy for passing one way. The guy, frustrated, tried to hit the police officer, and the police officer can maintain composure. I was proud of the man. I had to go and meet him. I said, I wish I caught this event. Or these are the kind of police officers we want in this country. Because some human beings too are very rational. But in this regard, now, that's just it. Why are you offended that they are videoing? It's not a big deal.
Right.
Okay, can I add a caveat?
Yes.
Now, I think it's a Supreme Court decision that in a public space where public officers are involved, it's not a crime for you to, record them. And I guess the principle behind that is holding public officials doing their work as accountable, holding them accountable. Now, you see that the gentleman that was being harassed by the customs officials, he seems to know his right.
Yes.
And that was why he was saying, I don't need your permission to record you in a public space and you as a public official. And the lesson here is that Nigerians, in engaging with public officials, should know their rights. And of course, I suspect that immediately they realize that this is someone who knows his rights, They have to leave him alone. Now, the exception to that rule is that where it is a private meeting, you don't have a right to go and record people and go and publish it and go and circulate it. That would be violating the law. Okay. Also, where there is third-party involvement, you don't have the freedom to just go and record people arbitrarily and go and circulate it. The rule is as stated in Section 37 of the 1999 Constitution, which deals with the right to privacy. The right to privacy of private persons would need to be respected. Otherwise, you will also be violating the Cybercrime Provision and Prevention Act. Those will be the two relevant legislation. But as for public officials, yes, if you like, we are AI, Meta AI, you know, eyeglasses. Is Rufai wearing one?
Do you have a pair?
Okay.
Tell us the truth. Fascinating.
I have peers.
Oh, pairs, okay.
Pears.
Pairs, okay.
Yes.
I found a lot of times, Dr. Bati, just to mention, because that was the part that that intrigued me the most, that even the custom officer himself didn't seem to be aware of what the law is, what the rights, because we were saying you have no right to...
And it's a law enforcement.
And it's a law. So the challenge, I know what I'm saying, I've had many encounters.
Law enforcement officers
they don't even know the law.
Are the ones who break the law.
They don't even know it. There's
Right.
an ignorance of the law. When you're speaking to the average policeman, I've had encounters, and I always, when I challenge them with, oh, this is my right, and they're like, which right? They don't even know the law. So maybe there's also a need in the era of progress to sensitize these law enforcement agents of the law.
Right.
You need to know the law so that you don't harass people who actually know the
Law enforcement officers who don't know
the law.
I mean, what are we talking about? But let's shift gears now and turn to the education space, because right now, students in at least 20 universities are in limbo after the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, ordered these schools to go on strike, claiming the non-implementation of their 2025 agreement with the federal government. Now, this order came on Monday, with one Imo State University student revealing how he was literally in the middle of an exam when the class was told the strike had begun. Let's watch.
I was inside the exam hall, not just me, everybody was in the exam hall when ASU came in and asked us out, telling us that we should go home. The strike commenced by 8 o'clock today. We should go home till further notice. There was no memo before now. They didn't let us know, nothing at all. There was no information. We just got to school, writing our exam. A few minutes into our exam, they came in and asked us out that ASU has gone on strike till further notice.
I mean, what a visual, ripping up his exam and throwing it in the gutter. ASU says it remains open to dialogue, but insists that strikes will continue until their issues are addressed. Big picture, ASU is saying, we negotiated an agreement, but the government hasn't fully given us what was agreed on in 2025, including money owed to lecturers. So until further notice, we will be on strike. And if we follow that thread, this move from ASU comes barely 2 weeks after President Tinubu was celebrating the absence of ASU strikes as proof of how his administration has improved the lives of Nigerian families. Remember? He called the lack of ASU strikes akin to an answered prayer. Let's watch.
You can't say 4 years course is not 4 years. ASU is not on strike. They are not bringing agony to your homes. Is that not an answer to our prayers? To me, that's an answer.
An answered prayer? Dr. Abati, I'll come to you, but I'll first take this reaction from Ovi on Leke Leke, who says, if you attended a Nigerian public university since the late 90s without experiencing an ASU strike, that is an abnormal condition, according to a radio program caller. I lost an academic session due to the 6-month ASU strike in 2003. The government should be intentional about improving the education sector in Nigeria. The welfare of lecturers and teachers should not be neglected, and might I add, also students, the welfare of students in all of this.
Okay, very quickly. I mean, the Nigerian government, and I speak in general terms, we seem to have a reputation for not honoring agreements. And the basic thing in any agreement, in any deal, is that agreements are sacred. Pacta sunt servanda. When you enter into an agreement, you have an obligation to honor it, whether in business or in other circumstances. The second thing is that the Nigerian government also has a reputation of ignoring unions or aggrieved parties when they serve notice, the other time it was Resident Doctors Association, NADA. It took the Nigerian government up to the last minute before they made another agreement with them. And now, in this particular case, ASU, which is the umbrella body for academics generally, whether it's federal or state, although some people argue that if you are in the state universities, then you don't need to be covered by agreements by the federal government. And so in this particular case, ASU served notice, 14 days, pointing out that in the state universities, only 10 have had the agreements honored. 57 have been left in limbo. ASU also announced that 20 state universities have been given the go-ahead to proceed on strike. The affected governments, in this case perhaps maybe the state level, refused to act. And now they've gone on strike. And you find the students in Imo State University finding themselves in a situation whereby the very day they were starting the exam, as they were collecting the question papers, ASU officials came in and said, you can no longer write this exam. We don't need to have this kind of embarrassment under an administration that says the welfare of university teachers is important and education is important, and that we need a workforce, that is well prepared for the future.
Absolutely. This is the next generation of Nigerians, and education is paramount. And from education...
The fact check on what the president said. Just
essentially. You're putting me on the spot.
Fact check.
And let's not forget that, we're talking about states, Dr. Bati, Imo State University is the Imo State governor, not the APC governor in charge of the Osun State election, the chairman of the election. Just to say that they will lead their states when there's problem, and they'll be going, the argument of there are issues going on in your state, and you're looking at other states going there to say, we will vote you out. We will vote you when there's fire on your own mountain. These are some of the issues.
Very good point. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Now, from education, let's now talk about law enforcement and brute force, with a shocking new video being circulated that shows police officers fighting a man wearing a Nigerian army shirt in front of a large crowd. Now, this incident is said to have taken place around Ada George Road in Port Harcourt, and according to reports online, the situation quickly became tense when the man in this military shirt was asked to identify himself to the officers. Let's watch. Well, as of this morning, we haven't seen an official comment from the River State Police Command on this incident, but online, some people are questioning how sure are people that this is indeed a member of the military, or is it someone wearing a military t-shirt? And as we talk about confrontations between officials and individuals' rights, now